Developing now, shockwaves rippling through one Snohomish County community this morning.
This after a 13-year-old girl was shot and killed inside a mall. This happened at the Alderwood Mall in Lynnwood. Police say
Dear Lord.
that girl caught in the crossfire of a gun battle in the food court. Let's get right to KOMO's Mo Hyder, who's been gathering new information as the story has developed overnight. Mo.
Yeah, of course, this is a very popular mall in the area, and as you mentioned, this happened inside at the food court. This is also at a time during dinner time when people were there with their family and friends as well. Go ahead and take a look at your screen.
Oh my word. Don, thank you.
Here. This is from the Lynnwood Police Department. They have identified the victim as Jayda Woods Johnson. We've learned there was an altercation inside between two groups, and that's when a teenager fired a gun and the bullet hit Johnson, who wasn't part of either group from what we're being told. She had nothing to do with the altercation. We spoke to people who were inside at the time. They described the moments as scary and something difficult to process. One person who saw what happened to Johnson immediately tried to save her.
I ran to the person. She was laying on the floor. Her friend was freaking out. She lost consciousness, and then her pulse was dropping. So when her pulse was dropping, that's when we started doing CPR, mouth to mouth.
Oh my God.
We're also being told from there she was rushed to a nearby hospital where she later on died. There's still a lot to this investigation at this time. We haven't been told what this altercation was about, what led up to this as well. We'll certainly keep you updated once we do get that.
So she's just randomly in there trying to get her some pizza or something like that in the food court in the mall. This is crazy as hell. Darling Deb, right? Exactly. This is a huge reason why people shop online now. Yeah, exactly.
Information though. For now, live in Lynnwood, Mo Hyder, KOMO News.
And Mo, we know the suspect is in custody. What do we know about him and his arrest?
Yeah, Holly, well, according to the Lynnwood Police Department, they do.
Oh, thank God they got somebody arrested, though.
Say he is a 16-year-old teenager from the Edmonds area. We also do know that his mother actually brought him to the police station where he then turned himself in. We're also
16 years old, acting crazy as hell.
You know, he's being booked in jail for murder. We have not been told about the potential charges he could face, so we're certainly keep you updated.
Oh my God, Don, thank you.
On that, though, once we do find out.
All right, Mo Hyder reporting for us live this morning. Mo, thank you. We have reported on violence near the mall this year, but not inside until now. Back in February, Lynnwood police investigated armed carjackings outside the AMC Theater, which is outside the mall, but across
Oh, hell no.
from the food court entrance. Two people were robbed at gunpoint, their cars were taken. 4 young people, including 2 14-year-olds, were later arrested in that case. The last violent incident in the mall's food court was back in 2017, excuse me, when a man stabbed a security guard during a scuffle over food handling practices. That guard was not seriously injured, and the person who stabbed him claimed he acted in self-defense.
Where the hell is this, y'all? What the hell mall is this? Does anybody know where this is? Like the actual location of this?
All right, that brings us to this morning's KOMO Post Poll, so grab your cell phone this morning. We have covered so many cases involving young teens and guns recently, so this is what we're asking this morning as you grab your cell phone. What do you think is the biggest driver of gun violence among young people? 43% there in the second spot saying perceived lack of legal consequences. 33%, so a third of our folks responding so far this morning saying a lack of parental guidance. 16% saying guns are too easy to access. As you see these numbers changing live. 7% saying kids lack impulse control. Let us know what you think as we deal with another violent act involving teens. Just point your cell phone's camera.
Unbelievable.
At that QR code on the right-hand side of your screen. There's going to be a link that pops up. Tap that with your finger, and that will take you directly to our poll at KOMOnews.com.
Oh, no. Is this in Seattle? Is this in Seattle?
By Lynnwood police, this guy right here in this white hooded with this white sweatshirt. Police said the teen here in the white sweatshirt is a suspect, and it might even be a hooded sweatshirt. It's hard to tell in this shot, but you can see it from the front here. A suspect in a shooting that happened in the food court this evening at Alderwood Mall. He remains on the run tonight. He's believed to be armed, and they're asking for anybody who recognizes this guy. I know it's a little hard to see his face, but maybe you recognize him just from this shot here to call 911. Ryan Sims joins us tonight. He's been working on this story all afternoon and evening long. Ryan, what's the latest for us tonight? What have you learned?
We learned some pretty troubling things about what happened here at the Alderwood Mall, Preston. First and foremost, the victim in this case
I'm pretty sure this happened last night, y'all.
is a teenage girl. We don't know her exact age, but she is a teenager, and in more
Or it was either yesterday or last Wednesday. Let me look again.
heartbreaking and troubling than that already is the fact that it is not an exaggeration to say that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I want to kind of picture this, paint the scenario. It was about 6:40 p.m. There are families here. It's teeming with people. After all, this is the day before a major holiday, so people have off tomorrow.
Yep. Last Wednesday.
They're spending the weekend they're spending the weekend at the mall, the beginning of the weekend. And what we learned is that this girl just happened to be walking in between two groups who were mouthing off at each other. And one of those groups pulls out a gun, fires at the other group. And this girl, unfortunately and tragically, was in the middle. And again, wrong place, wrong time. She was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We spoke to a witness who said that that girl was shot square in the chest. One of the witnesses that we spoke to was just so compelling and awful to hear what he went through. All this happened.
My God, that is insane.
Happened right by his shop. He's an employee here at the mall at a clothing store. He hears the gunshot while everyone else is understandably running away. This guy has military experience. He told us that it is his training that when you hear trouble, because of his military experience, you don't run away from the trouble, you run towards the trouble. That's what he did. He was one of the first people to get to this girl as she's on the floor of the food court here, and he was among the people who gave her CPR, revived her, but he said that it was a struggle. She was shot in the chest, so it was a struggle to keep her around until medics arrived, but he did that. He and his friends also gave her, mouth to mouth. Again, it was part of CPR. Her pulse started to go down. They brought her back time and time again. And this guy said that, he never thought that something like this would happen. You see it in these worst case kind of scenarios. Obviously, they have drills for this here for employees to go through this here at the mall. But he said that, the fact that he had to use his military training and his military experience to help revive and keep alive a teenage girl who was, again, in the wrong place at the wrong time.
At the mall.
He said it just broke his heart, and you got to feel for him. We also spoke to other employees here who said that their training kicked in. Their training in terms of active drills, active shooter drills, where at the sound of those gunshots, they heralded everyone in, all the customers into their stores, shut those security gates that you see that they shut down at the end of the night. They shut those security gates down. All the customers who were in the store got put in the back. They hunkered down in the backs of those stores with the doors locked until they were given the all clear for police and, from authorities. So it was just a dramatic, sad day here at the mall. And it goes to, we got to underscore this too, that again, it was teeming with people. This is the beginning of a holiday weekend, and again, a lot of people had off tomorrow, so we saw more than usual, more than what we would normally see on a Wednesday night, families starting what would be a 4-day weekend here. And so
that's so sad.
So many of the people who had to hunker down here in the aftermath of this shooting said that they were traumatized, they were shaking after what occurred here. Preston.
Well, Ryan, talking about the actual mall itself, what happens there now? I know that was taped off by police tape today, and it was quite a mess as the lockdown took place. But there's that investigation.
Don, thank you.
Now, where that girl was shot. What happens after this?
Well, I think, you see there in the distance that there's still at least one police car there in the distance. We're going on about almost 5 hours since this all happened. So we have at least one, if not several, police vehicles on the scene. But it is our understanding from mall management and mall authorities that it is going to be business as usual. It is expected that police will wrap up sometime in the next few hours. And I checked.
You crazy as hell saying something like that after that happened. Business as usual?
How dare you?
That's a little insensitive, isn't it?
The mall website, they say that they are still going to be open business as usual, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for a day that could be teeming with families, people heading out for 4th of July, doing some 4th of July
Nurse KK, thank you. Shout out to the nurses.
Shopping. So despite everything that happened today and really kind of the frantic, fraught situation that occurred, it is going to be business as usual tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning here at the Alderwood Mall, Preston.
What a tragic situation. I know a lot of people are probably thinking tonight, gosh, it's not safe to go to the mall now, and it's one of the only ones there in Lynnwood that people can actually go to. Hopefully things get safer from here. Ryan, thanks for the update tonight. We appreciate it.
us through what happened this afternoon.
So unfortunately, this evening at approximately 6:04 p.m., we had an altercation inside of Alderwood Mall near the food court involving two groups of people.
D-Lo, thank you.
During that altercation, one male pulled out a gun and fired a round, at least one round, towards the other group. Everyone then fled in different directions. Unfortunately and tragically, a uninvolved female was hit, and she was transported from the scene. I don't have any further information right now on that. Other than that, it was a teenage female, and she was uninvolved with either party, based on our information. I've
in the food court trying to eat. Next thing you know, that's it. You're meeting Jesus. That's horrible.
Sent out via Twitter a still photo from Alderwood Mall security video, which they provided for us, of the person we believe to be the shooter. He's described as a black male teenager with a large afro. He appeared to be wearing a white sweatshirt with some type of black writing on it, and possibly white shoes. He also was, there was another group that was part of the altercation.
Spiritual Diamond, thank you.
And we will be working on sending out a photo of those males. At this point, none of the involved parties are identified, and none are on scene any longer that we are aware of. The mall has been, is no longer in a lockdown. People are free to leave the mall. A search has been conducted. We had air overhead and canine on scene, but at this point, we don't have the suspects identified or in custody.
But then he turns himself in, y'all. That's what we learned at the beginning of this, that he did turn himself in. His mom brought him in.
So our heart is, of course, with this victim who was shot and had nothing to do with the altercation or anything else. And so our concern are with her and her family, and we've got everyone on scene doing a full investigation, both in conjunction with Alderwood Mall, who's assisting us, and with our fellow agencies in the area. I'm going to try to answer any questions. I don't have much additional information.
Do you know around the age
Thanks,
group
John.
of the two groups that were,
You know, teenage, and I would say older teenager.
School just got out. This is a place where a lot of kids hang out for the summer or whatever. I mean, just kind of your reaction. There's a lot of young kids, and one who just had to be a victim of gun violence today while hanging out at the mall.
Well, I think what I'd point out is the mall is a place for the whole community to gather, and the mall does a good job at security within the mall. This was really an altercation between two groups that chose to do it here at the mall, and so that's unfortunate and frustrating for the whole community, and to create gun violence in our midst is really disheartening and upsetting.
How many suspects are you guys looking for?
We
Currently the one, I think, huh? Don, thank you.
believe one person actually fired a gun. Then there is a different group of 4 to 5 males, so that's what we're trying to figure out right now. There could be more associated on either side, but those are kind of the basic info based on the video we've seen.
What would your message be to just the community? Obviously, there's somebody who you believe is responsible for the shooting who's out there. You never know kind of the mentality somebody goes into when they're running from police and trying to get away from
Right, I would encourage it, and we did send out via Twitter a picture of our believed suspect, so if
Don, thank
they
you.
know that person, please call 911. Call Lynnwood Police Department or come to the police station and provide that information anonymously or in person, and give us that information so that we can track down those people in a safe manner and hold people accountable as the law.
Timothy, this happened up in Washington State, apparently around Seattle. Nurse KK, thank you.
Expects us to, and if they know if they recognize any of them, they should call 911 and get that information to us.
How long was the food court on lockdown?
How long? I don't know exactly. The incident happened at about 6 p.m., 6:04. people were locked down in various businesses for safety. And then within the last 45 minutes, we made sure that we communicated both online and through in conjunction with mall security to let them know that they no longer had a shelter in place and they could leave. And then the additional thing I would ask, if anybody was here at the mall and witnessed any part of this and then left, I would encourage them to, again, call 911 or call Lynnwood Police or come down so that we can get any information from them on anything they happen to have witnessed.
Could I just get a quick synopsis from the top? Cairo's mics interfere with our mics.
Sure. At 6:04 p.m., approximately inside the mall near the food court, there was an altercation between one group of teenagers and at least one other teenager. And then in response to that, a teenager pulled a gun and fired a round. And
what an idiot.
Tragically, that errant round hit an uninvolved teenage female.
And that dude was 16, y'all. 16-year-old kid.
Who's been transported from the scene.
What's the condition?
I don't know. I haven't heard that yet. She was...
Recovered a gun?
No, we have not recovered a gun.
Is this the first time an incident has happened, a shooting incident has happened at Alderwood Mall that you recall?
I mean, I've been around a long time, so I could think back a long time ago. Certainly, it's the only one in recent memory.
So
It's not a normal event at Alderwood Mall or anywhere in
How was
our
the
community.
response after the
I
shooting?
hope so.
And who responded?
Well, every officer in the area, of course from Lynnwood PD, but also we had great support from Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, Mount Lake Terrace, Edmonds, and probably other agencies that I'm just unaware of that all responded to assist us either with a perimeter or with searching. We had the State Patrol Air Unit was on scene providing overhead coverage. We had canines from out of the area come in to try to assist. So we had a pretty robust response immediately.
After the shooting, was this an argument between two groups?
Certainly an altercation, yes. Something precipitated it and then ultimately resulted in one person pulling a gun and firing at least one round.
And this was an innocent bystander?
Yes. All indications the female who was hit had nothing to do with either of those two groups.
I mean, Chief, we see this
Crazy as hell. Bubble, thank you.
pretty much every jurisdiction, but teen violence, we're seeing so much of it. Just interested on your thoughts of, and not to get into specifics on numbers, but I think we all agree it's an issue. Your thoughts on that? Here we are, another example of that.
Well, I think there's issues of accountability and parental oversight and
or lack thereof.
So, yeah, and alternatives to violence. I think we need
KFO, good to see you. Thank you.
to encourage and enforce those. But I think accountability is also a big part of this, which could be difficult to within the criminal justice system with juveniles. It's a difficult thing to hold people accountable at times.
Was she taken to Providence?
I don't have that. I could find out, but I don't know.
Suspect.
I'm sorry, Chief, do you
India, she was only 13.
have this?
I do.
And I can't help but notice you seem emotional. I mean,
I am. It's upsetting on a number of different levels. To have a totally innocent teenager hit is very upsetting. To have other teenagers engaged in this behavior on the eve of a national holiday, also upsetting. I grew up in this area. I went to this mall. I still...
Yeah, you could tell that this guy's he's pretty upset about it. He's torn up about it. Dawn, thank you. Damn, you guys are amazing. Thank you for all the love on TikTok tonight. Thank you. Marnie, thank you.
frequent it, and so to have this kind of violence, senseless violence occur is upsetting. It's upsetting for the officers and, of course, anyone that was inside the mall trying to enjoy a pre-holiday shopping event.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Are no suspects still on the run? Any danger to the public?
Well, I guess yes, in the sense that that person is armed or was armed, and we have not recovered that gun or that person. So there is a continued generalized threat to, I don't think it's, there's not a random ongoing thing, but the person is clearly a threat and needs to be taken into custody.
there a description?
Yes, the description was and I did send out a photo via X or Twitter. Was a black male teenager, probably 15 to 18, with a large afro, wearing a white sweatshirt with black writing on it. And yeah, that's the details we have right now.
And his mom turned him in.
Now you mentioned that that they chose to do this here. Was just a mistake to say they?
No. They didn't come here to do that event. No, it's just that they came here and then decided to engage in violent behavior. So that's what I mean. Not that they came here to do that.
What are some activities that kids could do besides just hanging out at the mall? Just because I know Lynnwood has been doing some stuff, so maybe some stuff that's upcoming that kids and parents could enjoy with their families.
Well,
the
4th of July weekend, there's got to be fireworks shows all over the area. I would encourage everybody to attend, safe and sane one. A family barbecue would be a good idea, or going to the park.
Yeah, staying home.
Park and engaging in, just better outlets than random violence, which is pointless and disheartening.
The investigation still going on. Do we think this may have been gang related?
I haven't had any indication of that specifically.
Okay.
No. That's all I have for now. So watch Twitter. We will provide any additional photos that might assist the public in helping us identify these involved people. All right. Thank you.